Welcome back! Once again, an immediate transition and a sip of water. Seems to be my intro these days. Anyway, my name is Prometheus, and we are here for part 3 of 4. Oh boy. This is going to cover animation and basically animation. So, we've got this nice, now textured piece of model. And we are going to go back to solid, and we're going to center its location first off. And well, we're going to take all these separate pieces and separate them again, because you're going to have to do that. So we go to take this, and we're going to grab all of these edges, which can prove difficult at times. You're holding Shift and A a lot, and you're just going to try and copy it all. Now I want to make sure I don't get the actual fins. Trust me, I don't want them. So I want these bases for the fins, but not the fins themselves. And we're going to just double check. And it's not too difficult to do these, but they get tedious once again. Another tedious aspect of 3D modeling, like many others that you have already seen. So, oops, gotta get there, and any more I'm missing. You gotta make sure you get every single face, and I mean every face. And if you don't, you break it. So I'm going to now hit P, separate selection. Now I go to object mode, and you notice if I select you, which your center is way over there, that all moves away. So we're going to just take it, move it there. So now all 4 of these fins are free, but I need to separate them from each other. So we're going to just copy like so. Make sure I got them all, and just P again. Now, these I'm pretty confident in knowing that I've got it all. Normally I separate it and check, but this instance it's pretty simple because I just need to get a few fins. It's not too difficult. Now if I go to object mode, I've got all these fins are separate from one another, and I want to use center of mass for all of these. And sorry about my loud-ass keyboard, but that's just what it is. Oh, you are still bound to there. I have to do a separation for you. I forgot. P, selection, object mode, boom. Control Alt Shift, center mass, boom. So now I've got all 4 of these fins separated, and I have to repeat the process with these fins. These fins, however, oh boy, they're much more annoying. Because I have to do these individually again, but I have to like go inside the model to find the bottom pieces. You'll see right now. See how there's these, you can tell that they're not selected by the black dots, and that should be all that I need for that piece. So if I hit P and turn off this and fix the sensitivity on my mouse, which I just bumped into and changed. Now if I grab you, center mass, always do center mass, boom. You're good. I'm just going to move you over there so you're out of the way. And I'm just going to repeat this process for each and every fin. Just make sure I grab each and every little face. It's usually not particularly difficult to do this step. It's just a little tedious. Just make sure you didn't forget anything always. Turn off the view like that when you can't figure out what the hell you're clicking. The wireframe, that is. This is tedious, and I don't like doing it, but it's critical to the design process if you want animated parts. And this also applies to the booster, which is why I separated it first, actually. It's just first because it was easier, but you have to do that for each and every part that will have any sort of movement, meaning if it's a booster, or if it's an animated fin, or if it's an animated air intake, or anything. Anything that you want to have any sort of movement. Can you please, like, not behave like you're not working at all? There we go. That's a start. There's only one bottom face of that one at least. Now, the reason I'm doing this after I did the texture is because if I did it before, then the texture would not apply to these. I wanted all these pieces to be on the same UV map, which is why I'm doing this basically after I've already assigned them and textured them. Once again, that shortcut for center mass is Control-Alt-Shift-C. Oops, wrong. One more. Cool. So now I've got all these pieces just kind of separated. And it looks kind of cool, honestly, having them separated like that. So I'm going to make sure you are centered and that you're only off by X. In fact, you, I want your center of mass to go back there too. So boom, boom, boom. And then just move you back here. So if I reassign to material, you'll see they all still have their looks about them. Solid. And what we're going to do now is set up the actual animation. Now this is tedious. I'm not going to lie. This is tedious and tedious as far as, oh, come on, you are not going to be like that. I guess you're really going to be like that. There we go. Okay, now, dragging the wrong place again. There we go. This is what you're going to use. I think this will only need to be about 25 long. And this is use what's called keyframes. So we're going to go to one before the final position, and we're going to basically place the fins back where they were. Seems a little odd, but that's all we're doing. We're just going to put these fins right back where they were. But we're going to have to like reposition them at the same time because I've moved everything. So once we get one where we like, and I'm actually going to go back to texture, or rather material, because you'll notice there's like a black band there, and I want to make sure that that band is completely hidden and that we're still centered. So it's a little tedious, but now that that is where I want it, save, and we're just going to leave that there for the moment. I'll go work on it more later. We're actually going to grab this, see, looking at what's most different on this, notice that the closest is the X, or the Z rather. So we're going to copy that, and that's going to adjust the positions of all these. Oops. Oops, that's not what I meant to adjust, is it? No, I meant to adjust the X. Wait, this is, yeah, that should be X. Huh. Is their orientation different? No. Hey, I guess I just have a weird thing going on. Actually, this one is probably better. This is just tedium. Okay, so... Oh wait, no, that's not the right value. C, Control V, Control V. So now, since this is it's not actually perfectly centered, because it's just not, because this intake adjusts where the center of mass is, I have to do the bottom ones separately, and they're like harder to see, which is not good, in my opinion. I don't like that, but it's necessary. So in this case, I just need to make sure that I'm in the correct Z-plane. Control C, Control V. Tedium. What are you? It's like a little floating artifact right there, isn't there? Oh, what? That face is supposed to... I hate this. So, what happened is I missed that tiny freaking face, and it is now assigned as part of that. I don't want that like that. So, I'm going to now reattach that fin, or whatever, and come back when I fixed it. It is getting late, and I messed up. Welcome back to part 3, redone. I messed up the whole animation video, because I forgot to orient you this thing Z forward before I did it. So now all my parts are in weird places, and you're going to miss a little bit, but you won't miss much. So here's the deal. Keyframes are what you use to animate. I've already shrunk this down to have only 25. You just enter it in there, and this is the timeline. Moving to frame 1, I want to position each part where it will be when frame 1 is called, which is pretty simple to do, actually. So this is basically where these parts will be. Make sure you, when you've rotated the fins off, I've already separated them. I'm not sure if that footage was saved or not, but whatever. At this point, it's getting late, and I don't care as much. I say it's getting late like it's actually late. No, it's like 7, but I'm exhausted. Actually, that's the wrong part. What the? You're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be back here. Let me fix that. Sorry. And that just goes like there. Cool. I pressed a button to change my mouse sensitivity. It's so easy to do on this mouse, but I love this mouse, so whatever. Stop rotating weirdly. Just looking for whichever value is most similar. Control C, Control V. Yeah, that's good enough. Even though those aren't quite right. Let's do it like so. Anyway, these are all roughly where I need them there now, so once I've organized this so that they're all shifted correctly, which they were not prior, just set up like so, which is really hard to tell with that one, so I'm just going to assume it's okay, because that's the one I was doing. So, alright, I've been thinking it through, and the animated fins on this rear, I have no idea if they're going to work or not. I really have no idea whatsoever. Let's reset the camera. So I really can't say for sure whether or not this is a good idea, and I can't say for sure whether or not I even want to try it anymore. I'm just nervous it's going to be really weird but not work at all. Whatever. It's going to be something, and something interesting at that. So let me grab the... Not that. Hey, not that. I guess it was that. Oops. There we go. I guess it's just going to be like so. These don't need to be perfect. They really don't. Just need to be roughly in the right place. Because when you animate it, and once it's all done properly, you don't notice the little errors, which is good, because there's usually many of them. You'll notice like there's this black line, it's jagged and shit, and it's just, that's how it's going to be. Okay, so I'm not sure if these, once again, I have no idea if these are going to work like they are implemented. This fin is over here. Basically, I rotate all the fins by 100 and reset the rotation by doing Control A rotation, and that means that they are not going to be like responding in the same sense, but like their rotation is going to be different. Control C, Control V. I forgot to scale this thing actually. Now that I think about it, so I'm going to still have to do that, which is going to be a true pain in the ass. And I wonder if I can even do it right now. I've messed up a few things in the order, but that is actually a serious, serious problem that I have not scaled this. Hopefully it will be okay. Because now what I have to do is change, because you notice this is not the right size. I have to go and hope this works. How long are you? Length, we're looking for the surface and submarine launch, so 4.6 meters overall. Well, let's look at the difference. The air launch is 0.8 meters shorter, so that's how long this booster is. And this is 3.8. Diameter, 0.34. Wrong button. Wrong button again. I'll fix that one in a minute. Yeah, okay. So these fins are all going to have to be scaled, but the good news is they should scale just fine. Now the reason I did that one a little odd is because I need to adjust its this height to be a little bit shorter. So 0.36, because that's about 2 centimeters roughly. 0.35, nah, 0.37. Because I want this to be round, and that's roughly round. Cool, so now we go Control Alt Shift C, center mass, and you are shifted Y by like the teeniest amount. That's great. Anyway, we set you up now properly. And now we're going to scale these. Whoop-de-doo. The good news is with these fins is once I have one scaled, which in this case I believe I have this one scaled properly now, I actually need to make it a little bit bigger. That's how big it needs to be. I just know it's 0.59. And just do that to all these. And I'm not sure, but I think it will work on these. Holding shift, you can just click these. I just learned this. I'm sorry this video is like so all over the place, but honestly it's just been a long day for me. I didn't have classes I was told I had because of Labor Day messing things up even more than I thought. So I went to like 2 extra classes today and then realized I wasn't supposed to be there, and that was a totally lots of fun. To, you know, show up at a class that you don't actually have to go to. Which is, you know, obviously sarcasm, I hope. So obvious sarcasm is hopefully obvious. But yeah, it's just pain in the butt. So I'm tired because I woke up way earlier than I wanted to because I had to go to class that wasn't actually being held. Yep, and now I've been sitting here talking to myself way too long. What am I talking about? I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to you guys. Once again, everyone in my dorm thinks I'm insane. The good news is this scaling works perfectly, because if it didn't, I would have been very, very annoyed. Ugh, this is such a mess, this particular piece. Honestly, that's just going to have to suffice. Hang on. Sorry if I'm less talkative now. This is my life when I'm developing weapons. It takes usually even longer than this to do all this, and the animation is still going to take longer again because I have to redo it completely. And you won't even know that I did before, except I've told you. It's like I did it all, and it was like, oh, it's perfect. Oh, wait, I didn't do it right because I have to redo everything. These always lean off more. And I forgot to set you and you to the correct positions. That's the easiest one to reset, thankfully. Alright, so all of these are now in their initial position, which means I select them and I hit I on each of these, which is going to just set up the keyframe at the 0 point that says this is exactly where this part is supposed to be, which is all you need to do for this first step. And it's actually the majority of animating is just setting up this first and last keyframe. And this is going to take care of almost everything, really. It's pretty impressive how the computer just does everything else. And did I miss anything? I missed that one. And did I miss anything else? Nope, I didn't. Okay, so now I'm going to start with you because you're easy. And we're going to go to the last keyframe, or in this case, second to last. And we're going to set the rotation here to -100. Wrong rotation. 100. Wrong rotation again. Where did I rotate those around? Oh, wait, because of the 90 degrees, I think it'll be -100 on this axis now. No, it's 100? I want to say, yeah. Okay, so now I just place this right there, and you'll see that the part is now in its final position. Actually, a little bit closer. So that's its final position, so I hit I now. And I repeat this for all of these. And yeah, that's basically all that I have to do there. Wonder if I just do that. Negative, boop, yep, in position. So now I. Oops. Oh yeah, I forgot. That one doesn't work on here because it is not the same, because the height of the thing is not, it's not a perfect circle anymore because of the intake, meaning the scaling is not going to be perfect, and that's fine. I just have to remember that. I have to do this one manually. Oops, wrong. So now those are there. So now you'll notice if I switch this, boop, they fold. And that's an animation, basically. It's just filling in the frames between the two locations. So now I'll go back to here, and I have to reset all these fins now. Oh, how fun. To be in the correct position. Is that not? No? Yeah, I guess. Oh, right. It needs to be in further. It's hard to gauge this sometimes when I'm just like contorting my own head to try and match what I'm seeing because I can't see it very well. There we go, and then I have to change along the Y. That's pretty good. I'll go with that as good. Boom. Okay, so here's the problem I'm having mentally with the last fin, is I'm not certain if I will suddenly have, as if when the booster detonates, or not detonates, detaches, if I will have just ghost fins following the rocket, because that would be kind of hilarious, but really not what I want. So I'm not sure if those will work, and honestly I think I'm probably going to ditch having the rear fins fold, but at the same time, they should work, in theory? I don't know. It's all really kind of complicated mentally. And I'm going to like have timestamps on this video so people can just skip because I'm just sitting here doing pretty much nothing. A lot of this is just me talking about random stuff. And that's fine, I suppose, but it's not exactly what we need in this instance. We need the actual constructive work to be done. Wait, is that supposed to come out the back too? No, not really. Control C, I. Control V. Now I'm thinking of Futurama. My mind wanders so easily. Just part of being ADD, and I embrace it. I kind of want to rain tonight, but I really need to do my laundry. And I feel like it's pitch black outside, even though it's only 8, and it's like still summery, so it's going to be fine. So anyway, we've done that, and now all the animations animate. And I'm not going to go into too much work about making these like look perfect because they're just going to be doop, and that's all you're going to see. So it's going to be fine, even though they're not amazing. So, yeah, that is animating, and that is part 2, or rather part 3 done for the second time. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to probably take a break before I go on with the final piece. Take it easy, guys.